This is Ethan's absolute favorite stories. He's heard it 20 times and requests for it continually. And it's my favorite too, actually. Great message. The Good Samaritan. Why do you like the Good Samaritan so much, honey?
Because it's fun.
It's fun?
Yes.
What are you talking about?
It's fun.
There's nothing fun about this story.
Yes. Yes.
Silly goose. Let me read it, okay?
The fun.
While Jesus was teaching in the temple, a man asked, "Teacher, what do I do to get into heaven?" "What does Scripture tell you?" Jesus asked. The man answered, "It says to love God with all your heart, your soul, your strength, and your mind. It also says to love your neighbor as you love yourself." "That is right," replied Jesus. "But teacher, who is my neighbor?" the man asked. Jesus decided to help the man by telling him a story. Once, there was a man walking from Jerusalem to Jericho. Are you paying attention?
Yes, I am.
Did you brush your teeth?
Yes.
Good boy. Now pay attention. Along the way, robbers took his clothes and everything he had. The man fell beside the road and cried. A priest from Jerusalem came by on his donkey. The priest saw the man on the side of the road, but had other important things on his mind and did not want to take the time to help. The priest also did not want to get his robes dirty, so he ignored his calls for help. How mean is that? That is so cold-hearted. Don't you think?
Yes.
That's sad. Breaks my heart, huh?
Who cares about a rope more than a man?
That's right, sweetheart.
A rope more than a man.
Exactly. That just breaks my heart. I'm sure it breaks God's heart. The priest, we already read that. A second man came by later that day. He was also a religious man, an assistant to the priest in the temple. The assistant saw the man beside the road and was afraid to help him. He worried that the robbers might be nearby. What a coward. It's not in the story, that's just in my heart. What if they robbed him next? He decided that it was too risky. The assistant crossed the road and hurried past. The poor man wept bitter tears because the men from his own village would not help him. He was all alone and tired, hurt and sad. Very late in the afternoon, another man came walking along the road. This man was a Samaritan. Huh?
This is the part where he gets help.
Jesus paused. He reminded everyone that many people did not trust Samaritans. Jesus explained that Samaritans worshipped other gods. They seemed different from the people of Jerusalem. He continued his story. This Samaritan saw that the man lying by the road, the Samaritan did not see him as a man from Jerusalem or even as a stranger. He saw him only as a man who needed help. The Samaritan took off his cloak and draped it over the man. He wiped the dust from the man's face. He cleaned and bandaged the man's cuts. He gave him water to drink. The Samaritan told the man, "We will go to the next inn and find you some food and a place to rest." The Samaritan put his arm around the man and helped him onto his donkey. The man from Jerusalem was grateful for the stranger's kindness. He thanked him again and again. The two men walked until they found an inn at the next town. The Samaritan paid the innkeeper for a room. He kept watch over the man from Jerusalem all night long. He made sure the man had enough to eat and drink. The next morning, the Samaritan went to the innkeeper and said, Here are some coins. Please watch over this man. He has had a difficult journey and needs our help. Let him sleep until he feels well enough to continue his trip to Jericho. When I return, I will give you more coins to repay you for taking care of him." The innkeeper agreed to take care of the man. The Samaritan left the inn to continue his journey. The innkeeper took care of the man from Jerusalem until he was well enough to travel again, and he made his way safely to Jericho. When Jesus finished his story, he sat silently. After a few moments, Jesus spoke to the young man who had first asked the question. Jesus said, "Which of the 3 travelers treated the man as a neighbor? Was it the priest, the assistant, or the Samaritan?" The young man answered Jesus. The Samaritan showed kindness to the man even though they had never met before. Jesus said, "Everyone should try to be like the Good Samaritan. You must show kindness and mercy to each person you meet. Even the ones that are not nice to us, right, Ethan? Even the ones that hurt us, right? After we punch them in the face. Just kidding. They are all your neighbors, and you must love them as God has said. I was only kidding, son. We don't punch people in the face. Okay, well, maybe not all kidding. Some people do deserve a punch or a kick in the butt. Right? All right, let's go to bed.